What's going on to you Capricorns out there? So, for you, you have the Magician, the Page of Wands, and you have the Seven of Cups. That's what you Capricorns have, right? Let me move this back some, actually. So, um, okay, so, all right. I'm gonna get a little zigzaggy with this. So basically, you Capricorns have a very clear understanding of what you need to do moving forward. A lot of you Capricorns have some dreams that y'all want to accomplish, um, financially, but also relationally as well. Relationally, right? Relationship wise. And you're doing this and you're setting out on your own. You're setting out on your own uh, adventure, even at the behest, or even when other people are telling you not to do that. You're dating other people, right? And the way that other people are coming off as you getting to know them, they're coming off like they're the best thing, right? They're trying to oversell themselves. They're trying to make it seem like that's why it is that you have the Seven of Cups. They're trying to oversell themselves. They're trying to make it seem like they are this a little bit too hard. And instead of them doing that, they should just be open and honest and real and stop. And see, that's another thing too. They should really stop trying to appear like they're not boring, right? Because at some point you're going to get bored. And I don't know who says that as far as a relationship is concerned. But at some point you're going to get bored, right? Now, again, I don't know who says that. It's cringeworthy. I don't know who says some stupid stuff like that, but whatever, right? And the fact that they're trying to sell themselves and make it seem like they're not boring ever is very boring, because you must come down, right? If you are on an emotional high, you must come down. If you don't ever come down, that's a problem. Okay, that's a problem. That's a real big problem. And the thing about it is that, so a lot of you Capricorns are getting to know people, and you're actually really getting a chance to see who is who. And one of the people who is going to be a good match for you, right? You don't like some of the people that you're interacting with, right? Inevitably, because you see how a lot of them are actually trying too hard. And it's not the problem of them putting in an effort or trying. It's the fact that they're stunting to be something that they're not, right? Which is goofy, excuse me. Which is goofy. They're trying to be something that they're not. They're trying to make it seem like they're the gangster. They're trying to make it seem like they're exciting, right? They're trying to make it seem like, never a dull moment with them. And you can say that a lot of people are putting on a front like that, right? Not everybody. No. Definitely not everybody. But a lot of people are. As soon as they meet you, they interact with you, right? They're already lying to you. They're already giving you a little bit white lies, right? Little white lies. And then later on in the relationship, maybe you find out about, oh, this person lied a little bit just to be able to get on my good side, right? A lot of people do that. But we have to get to a point where we don't have to really do those little white lies in order to, to show who we actually are, right? The Ten of Pentacles and the Moon is about how, I said the Moon, the world, excuse me, the Ten of Pentacles and the world, which is Capricorn. The world is Capricorn, right? And Capricorn is the 10th zodiac, depending on if you're going clockwise. So definitely a lot of Capricorn energy in this reading. And this is about, again, you Capricorns are looking for someone who is honest, at the very least, about who they actually are, right? They're not trying to put on a front. They are who they are, They're not embarrassing you. They're not dysfunctional, right? But they are who they are. Someone with a good head on their shoulders, regardless of whatever you into, because this could be said for both sides. Because you have knuckleheads on either side, no matter what they do, no matter how much money they make. Okay, no matter what their skin tone is, you got a lot of idiots out here. Okay, trust me. So you're looking for someone that has a good head on their shoulders, but doesn't have to feel like they have to put on to get your attention, right? You see a lot of those YouTube shows. You see a lot, you Capricorns, I don't know if y'all seen it, but y'all will see a lot of those YouTube shows, the balloon popping shows, or like the YouTube shows, right? Where like it's a match or not or whatever. And you can see that they're putting on for the camera. Is that them? Some of them, maybe, but they're still maybe not though. Some of them being real, some of them is not. You know what I mean? Some of them is acting like street dudes, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent, because they don't really do too much. But the point that I'm trying to make here, because I ain't even trying to get on that, but the point that I'm trying to make here with that is, you want sincerity, and you want to be able to make sure that if you interact with somebody on an emotional, relationship level, it's not something where you go into it not even really knowing who the person is, because the person tells so much lies to fit what you want them to be, so that you can say yes, you'll actually give them a chance. And then they put on this mask for a limited time, right? But long enough to get you Capricorns to still be interested in them months, maybe even a year or two after. And then they start to show you some serious problems after that. So you Capricorns understand that, you have to be very picky. So there's definitely a sense of you Capricorns learning how to be very selective around this time, because for you Capricorns, y'all are really in a state where you're being very watchful. You're being very careful. You understand the assignment. You know what's going on. A lot of people will lie straight to your face, and they'll try to make it, or try to get you to be convinced, right, on some Jedi mind trick type stuff, where they're trying to get you to like think that they're decent people that happens to be a match made in heaven with you, when in actuality, though, it's everything but that. So a lot of you Capricorns are realizing that you do end up having to take time with these types of people, just anyone in general, because people have layers to them that you have to essentially get to know, right? Peel back like an onion. It's not about, especially, I'll say especially if they know how to put their best foot forward. Because I know it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes, where it's like, okay, well, on one hand, you say that I can get to know somebody within the first couple of minutes. But then on the other hand, it's like, oh, well, well, how is it that you can say that on one hand, but then on the other hand, you can say something like it'll take years. Well, it'll take not necessarily years, but it will take a little bit of digging, right? And it's like, well, it depends on how they approach. It depends on how good you are at being able to sniff out nonsense, but it also depends on their approach. Like, if the person is going to tell you and volunteer that type of information, that they are dysfunctional and they're showing you their serious dysfunctions, and these are things that are real problems, right? Different things that would essentially threaten the relationship, right? Where the two of you would end up having to break up because it would cause serious problems, then obviously you need to take that into consideration and be like, okay, is this something that you really want to do, right? And more than likely, if you have common sense, you'll be like, nah. But then on the other hand, it's really a situation where it's like, if they're putting their best foot forward, where things seem to be a green flag, right? Things seem to be actually good, then of course, because considering the fact that, things are going so well, you're going to have to find out more about this person, right? because you're dating them more, right? Like the only type of people that, like the only type of people who seeing has like gets shown all of these wonderful things and don't do further research are people who don't really want to find out what other sides the other person has from further investigation, right? They're really just allowing themselves to be lied to, essentially, straight to their face. So now the Nine of Pentacles represents, because a lot of you Capricorns understand that you have a lot to lose. So a lot of you are not just going to sweep certain things up underneath the rug, ignore problems that a person has. A lot of you Capricorns are really serious about really getting to know somebody. It's not a game. It's not, you know, you don't want to do that. Like you Capricorns don't want to legitimately like be lied to straight to your face and then act like, and then right, this person has all these wonderful qualities and you just sit there and act like you didn't see that, right? You're not trying to get to know them any further to find out like, okay, they're putting their best foot forward and they just seem to have all the right answers, but is that really them, right? And what kind of side to them, other sides to them, do they actually have? Or is it that they are trying to make friends with everybody in the world, but that's a pipe dream, right? Like this is why it is that I say that there's a distinction between decent men and good men. Excuse me, I got that wrong. They're the same thing. This is why it is that I say that there's a distinction between good, decent men and nice men, right? That's the distinction. Excuse me. The distinction is a good, decent man is a person who's not always going to be nice, right? Politically correct, nice. But in principle, they're decent, right? Like in principle, they understand principles. And so because they understand principles, principalities is what it is that they're looking at. They're not always necessarily looking to be moralistically a good, right? Where they're trying to make friends with everybody, regardless of no matter how much people take advantage of them, right? And then you have good, decent individuals, right? Excuse me, you have nice individuals who are trying to make friends with everybody, right? The pushovers, right? And this goes for either really both sides. This honestly goes for both sides, honestly, regardless of whatever you're into. But I'm just using that example as a means of like showing y'all what I'm talking about, right? To convey an idea, right? But the point is that the Nine of Pentacles is about that. The Nine of Pentacles is about what you Capricorns are being very investigative. You're actually trying to find out what qualities does this person have truly, because these people that you're getting to know, because the Seven of Cups represents you Capricorns getting to know a couple of people, right? Like you're actually out here trying to get to know people for real, for real. It's not just about you Capricorns just, you know, just trying to get to know one person. This is actually about you Capricorns really trying to get to know multiple people all at once. You're not going to be doing anything romantically charged with them in that sense, you know, like that. But it is where you are going to like get to know them, right? Question them, find out more about them, go out on these dates with them. You're not trying to take it. You're not trying to take advantage. You're not doing the same things that a lot of other people are doing where they would be trying to take advantage. That's not the case at all. What it is that you're really in a situation where you Capricorns are trying to actually get to know who the person really is. So the Queen of Cups now and the Eight of Pentacles represents, and if they just seem to show you, or if they just seem to show you or whatever, that they don't really know themselves, they don't really bring anything to the table, they're not really functional people, I just see that a lot of you Capricorns will leave them alone. A lot of you Capricorns don't want to have anything to do with them because, you know, they're not being who they are. They're not being authentic. They're not actually, because like true story, real talk, like, you know, when it comes to dates, You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to like first dates, especially first dates, a person is really just supposed to be themselves, really. You know what I mean? Like the honestly speaking, the only real time that a person should really worry about being embarrassing is they're just embarrassing. You know, they're really just embarrassing themselves. So because of the fact that they are ultimately embarrassing themselves, right? What's happening here is that they're not really paying attention to the fact that they need to do some more growing because they are embarrassing. Period. It's not a matter of, because for me, me talking, I was just talking to somebody recently, and like I got the person who I was talking to. It didn't even last long. It lasted for like a couple of minutes. Because the person had a boyfriend, come to find out. Right? I didn't know. The person didn't mention that to me. But I ended up making this person laugh. And that's my point. Like from being myself, the person asked me, what is the constellation that is over the Northeast? And again, like I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I'm nice as far as understanding the zodiac signs, but I'm missing certain studies, right? When it comes to like that type of, the coordinates and all that other type of stuff. So I'm thinking about it, and instead of me kind of like taking like a guess or whatnot, I just basically threw my hands up and I was like, I don't know. And like the person laughed or whatnot. And I was just like, I'm being honest with this thing. Like, I don't know. So that's my point, right? Like, I'm not trying to be legitimately, I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. I'm just, and that's how it is that people get into dating for real, for real. But the point that I'm trying to make here is you Capricorns are in a position where you don't need someone lying straight to your face. You don't need someone telling you that they don't know what, acting like they're something that they're not. So now the Hermit and the Hierophant is about how you're looking. Yeah, a lot of you Pisces are actually looking. Excuse me. A lot of you Capricorns, are actually looking for someone that reminds you kind of like a Virgo or a Taurus, in the sense that like they don't necessarily talk so much, grounded. They're down to earth. They actually have a realistic approach to things. You know what I mean? They actually plan things out, and it's not necessarily sporadic and like all over the place and scatterbrained, right? Fires, a lot of the, I'm not bashing, but like, the fire signs and water signs and air signs, they can be scattered. They can be scatterbrained, and again, this is not me taking a shot at them at all. I'm just telling it like it is. Fire signs can be scatterbrained. They can be energetic. They're scatterbrained sometimes because they can be so energetic that they don't really pay attention to what's going on. Water signs, they're getting the scatterbrain from being emotional, right? Their emotions are all over the place, right? They are emotionally hysterical, right? And then when it comes to air signs, it's not an emotional hysteria, it's more so of a mental one, where like the air signs, they are thinking about what they have to do and responsibilities and what's going on, and you know what I'm saying, like their plans and all these scattered thoughts and ideas and what direction they should take their future. So as a result of this, they could be a little bit scatterbrained, but like the elements, the element that actually has the least amount of being scatterbrained is earth signs. So a lot of you Capricorns are looking to see, honestly, if you and a person actually go well together, if the two of you actually are a good match, a good mix for one another, which is amazing, because what that means for you Capricorns is this person and you actually will be on the same page to get towards that generational wealth like I've been talking about, right? So let's clarify the Hermit. Ace of Cups, Chariot, Three of Cups, Four of Wands, Page of Pentacles. So again, you're going to do everything that you can to put your best foot forward. And you Capricorns need to watch out for anybody who's like saying things a little bit too perfectly to try to appease you, to get you to say yes to them. The Four of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. And also too, you Capricorns also have to take into consideration that, you know, because the relationship is about you and what you want it to be. And, you know, you have to like the person at the end of the day. This is what I mean when I say I don't understand what is the point of, you know, these short yellow bus weirdo people who believe that they're so important are doing. Because if you're in a relationship, you have to be you, because the person who's in a relationship has to be good with the person that they chose. It's like, how are you not good even with the person that you chose? You don't find this person attractive? So what are you doing in a full-blown relationship with the person if you don't find the person attractive? Right? So you know, it literally is them wasting their own time. And it's like, what, you know what I mean? So the Four of Wands and the Page of Pentacles is about how, and that's the reason why you Capricorns are dating, and you are so, comprehensive as you are dating, because you Capricorns understand that you understand all of these. You Capricorns understand that, yes, you are going to have to be good with your choice, with who it is that you hang out with. You know, otherwise it doesn't make any sense to pick this person. But that's pretty much it, though. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website where there's all the ways to get a personal reading from me.